Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something really, really essential for, keeping our digital world safe and running smoothly.
Right. Secure operations.
Exactly. And specifically, we're looking at this powerful duo, automation and orchestration.
They really are a pair, aren't they? You often need both.
Think of this as kind of a shortcut to understanding why companies are leaning so heavily on these processes now.
Yeah, it's fundamental stuff. If you're curious about cybersecurity or, honestly, just how modern tech handles all the complexity and risk, this is key.
And we're going to kick things off with a core concept that sort of pulls a lot of this together, SOAR.
Ah, yes, SR. Good starting point.
So SOAR stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response.
Right. And essentially, you can think of it as like an automated engine, a central hub that connects and coordinates all your different security tools and processes.
And its real power comes from using things like machine learning and AI.
Exactly. That's what makes it dramatically faster than humans for certain tasks, like wading through thousands of alerts to find the real threats.
So instead of a security analyst having to manually dig through, mountains of data trying to spot something suspicious.
Precisely. It drastically cuts down what's called the mean time to detect and respond to security events, MTTD, MTTR.
And that speed is just, everything in cybersecurity, isn't it? When seconds can be the difference between a minor blip and a huge breach.
Absolutely critical. Plus, it frees up those skilled security analysts, lets them focus on the tasks that actually need human intelligence, like strategic thinking or complex threat hunting.
And I love this idea of playbooks, is that the script SR follows.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Playbooks are basically predefined actions. The SR system takes these actions when it detects specific attack symptoms or indicators of compromise.
So if it sees this kind of alert,
it follows that set of steps automatically. Could be gathering more data, blocking an IP address, isolating a machine, whatever the playbook defines.
Gotcha. And SOAR has those three pillars that make it work, right? Orchestration, automation, and response.
Yeah.
Let's break those down because I feel like they get used interchangeably sometimes.
They do, yeah. It's good to separate them. So first, orchestration.
Okay.
Think of this like a conductor leading an orchestra. The conductor isn't playing every instrument.
Right, they're guiding everyone.
Exactly, making sure they all play together, in sync, following the same music score. Orchestration does that for your security tools. It seamlessly integrates all these different tools, data sources, APIs.
So they work together.
Right. To coordinate complex, structured, and importantly, consistent workflows across your whole security setup. It makes everything work together harmoniously.
Okay, got it. Making all the different security tools sort of talk to each other and work together in a choreographed way, like a dance.
That's a great analogy, actually. Then next up is automation. So if orchestration is the conductor, automation is like the instruments playing their parts automatically based on the score. It's about streamlining those routine, often really time-consuming tasks that analysts used to have to do manually.
This is where the real freeing up happens then.
This is definitely where a lot of it happens, freeing them from the digital equivalent of, sorting mail all day.
Pretty much. Automation handles things like processing initial threat detection alerts, maybe taking immediate containment actions when something is spotted.
Performing parts of the incident response, even kicking off remediation steps. It just takes the repetitive clicking and checking off the analyst's plate.
Okay. And the third pillar is response.
Right. So while automation handles specific tasks, response is more the overall action taken against an incident. It's often triggered by automation and coordinated by orchestration.
So it's the outcome.
It's the swift reaction, yeah. When a potential threat hits, response is about S, automatically triggering those playbook actions we mentioned. Isolating systems, blocking bad IPs, instantly notifying the right teams to jump in. It's all about speed and consistency when you're under pressure.
What's really fascinating is how versatile SR seems to be. It's not just for one narrow thing.
Not at all. You see it applied all over. Incident response, obviously, analyzing threat intelligence feeds, helping with compliance checks, quickly analyzing suspicious emails or malware.
Phishing analysis, yeah.
Right, and even looking for unusual user behavior, user and entity behavior analytics, or UAPA. Its power comes from integrating and automating across all these different areas. That's what makes it so valuable for, modern security operations centers, SOCs.
Okay, so we've got the big SR picture, but let's get even more specific. This is where it gets really interesting for me. What specific things can automation and scripting actually do day to day? What are those mundane tasks analysts are being freed from?
Yeah, this is where you see the practical impact. A really common one is user provisioning.
Setting up new accounts.
Exactly. Onboarding new hires, changing roles for existing employees. Automation makes sure user accounts are created, configured correctly, and given the right level of access, accurately and quickly, every single time.
Which cuts down on manual errors, I bet.
Massively. Manual errors in provisioning are a huge source of security risk. Accidentally giving too much access or forgetting to revoke it.
So no more waiting days for account setup and less chance they get keys to the whole kingdom by mistake.
Exactly right. And similarly, you have resource provisioning.
Like for servers and storage.
Yeah, automating the allocation and deallocation of things like virtual machines, cloud storage, network resources, whatever's needed. You get that dynamic scalability and cost efficiency.
But done securely and consistently, without waiting for someone to manually click buttons or approve things.
Precisely, and done according to policy.
And what about guardrails? That sounds important, kind of protective.
It is. Guardrails are essentially about enforcing predefined policies and configurations automatically. Automation makes sure your systems stay within safe, compliant boundaries.
So stopping dangerous misconfigurations before they happen.
Exactly. Which honestly cause a surprising number of security incidents. It's about keeping everything configured correctly and securely, automatically. Tidy is often secure.
Right. Automated security groups management sounds similar. Automatically managing who can access what.
Yeah, defining and managing access controls for specific resources. Bolstering your security posture with really granular control, but without all that manual effort and potential for mistakes.
Okay, but what happens when something does inevitably go wrong? There's still going to be issues.
Oh, absolutely. And automation helps there too. Think about ticket creation.
Like for the help desk or IT support.
Or the security team. When an issue pops up, a security alert, a system problem, an automated system can instantly generate a ticket, prioritize it based on rules, assign it to the correct team, and start tracking its progress.
So no more delays in getting the problem onto someone's radar just because, someone missed an email alert.
Exactly. And for the really critical stuff, there's automated escalation.
Ooh, okay.
The system can trigger high-priority procedures automatically. Like with SOAR's AI capabilities, it might identify something truly critical based on multiple factors and automatically notify the Security Operations Center, the SOC, getting the human experts involved the second they're needed, not minutes or hours later.
Wow. It really does sound like a tireless digital assistant handling all the urgent grunt work.
It kind of is. And there are other examples too, like using scripts to automatically enable or disable services and user access, maybe during maintenance windows, or instantly shutting off access if a user account is suspected of being compromised. Quick, decisive action.
And for the teams actually building software, how does automation fit in there?
Oh, it's absolutely crucial there. Think continuous integration or CI and continuous verification and validation or CVV.
Right, the whole DevOps pipeline thing.
Exactly. CI automates merging code changes from different developers into a central repository. And CVV runs automated tests, including security checks, vulnerability scans, to validate those changes before they go live.
So you catch problems early.
Way early. By automating these security checks before code ever hits production, you catch vulnerabilities and bugs when they're exponentially cheaper and faster to fix, rather than dealing with a potential breach down the line.
Preventing issues from ever seeing the light of day. Ideally.
That's the goal. And kind of tying a lot of this together are integrations and APIs, application program interfaces.
The plumbing, basically.
Pretty much. They're the connective tissue. They let you link different tools and systems together, allowing for automated data transfers between them, triggering actions in one system based on an event in another, or pulling information for automated analysis. They're really the architects of efficiency when you're building these automated processes.
It really does seem like, wow, every corner of IT and security operations can benefit from this stuff.
If you connect this to the bigger picture, yeah, the benefits of implementing this kind of automation and orchestration are potentially massive.
So why go through the trouble? What's the big payoff? Because it sounds like it could be complex to set up.
It can be, but the payoff extends well beyond just the security department.
I'm guessing efficiency and time saving are right near the top.
Absolutely. Those tedious, repetitive tasks, done swiftly, accurately, 24/7. That frees up your highly paid, skilled security and IT staff for innovation, strategic thinking, complex problem solving. It's a huge productivity boost.
And making sure things are done right every single time.
That's enforcing baselines. Huge benefit. Automation ensures your systems consistently stick to predefined, secure configurations across the entire environment. This dramatically minimizes human error.
which we know is a big cause of issues.
Exactly. And it reduces the security gaps that come from inconsistent manual setups. Standard secure infrastructure configurations become the norm, easily deployed and maintained securely across the whole organization.
And that becomes even more critical as a company grows,
Right.
adding more and more systems.
Precisely.
Huh.
Which brings us to scaling in a secure manner. As your organization expands, automation lets you spin up new resources or scale existing ones up or down efficiently to meet demand without compromising your security standards. Security gets built in from the start, even at massive scale.
Huh. And it sounds like it might even help keep employees happy. Is that really a thing?
Employee retention, absolutely. It's a significant, often overlooked benefit. Losing skilled security analysts is incredibly costly and difficult.
They're hard to find and keep.
They really are. So if you can take away, say, the 70% or more of their day they might spend sifting through logs or doing repetitive checks work that automation just excels at.
You let them focus on the interesting stuff.
Exactly. The complex, creative problem solving they were actually hired for, that makes them feel more valued, less likely to burn out on the boring stuff, and much more likely to stick around.
Because who wants to spend their day doing mind-numbing tasks when they could be hunting advanced threats or designing better defenses?
Nobody, right. And of course, maybe the most obvious benefit in security. Reaction time.
Speed, speed, speed.
It's paramount. Automation makes threat detection and response lightning fast, identifying, assessing, and acting on incidents in near real time. Reducing that time minimizes potential damage, downtime, recovery costs, everything.
It really feels like you're multiplying the effectiveness of your existing team. Like one person can do the work of several, almost.
That's exactly the idea behind the workforce multiplier effect. A well-orchestrated and automated system can handle complex, multi-step processes in milliseconds. It reduces the time workers spend on mundane tasks and drastically cuts down the potential for mistakes.
And SOAR systems are particularly good at that.
Yeah, SOAR specifically excels at things like searching massive log files and correlating data from different sources, something humans are incredibly slow and error-prone at. It lets the humans focus on the strategic decisions and investigations that can't be automated yet.
So, okay, what does this all mean then? Because while automation and orchestration sound amazing, like magic bullets offering speed, efficiency, consistency, it's probably not quite that simple, is it?
No, it rarely is. Our sources also point out some really crucial things you need to consider. There are potential downsides.
That's right. Automation isn't a one-size-fits-all fix, and organizations really need to think carefully about the potential pitfalls alongside all that promise.
Definitely. Like complexity, for one.
Right. These systems can get complicated.
They really can. Automated workflows, especially as your security needs evolve and you integrate more and more tools, can become incredibly intricate to design and, importantly, to maintain.
And if they get too complex,
Then they become hard to adapt when things change. And troubleshooting can become a nightmare if something breaks or doesn't work as expected. Where's the problem in that complex chain?
yeah, I could see that. And there's the upfront cost, too.
Absolutely. Cost is a significant factor. There's the initial investment in the right tools, the infrastructure to run them, and crucially, training your staff to design, manage, and troubleshoot these systems. That can be substantial.
So you need to weigh that against the expected long-term benefits, the ROI.
Exactly. You need a clear business case.
What about relying too much on one big automated system? Is that a risk?
It definitely can be. It raises this important question about single points of failure. If you build critical security processes, or even operational ones, around a single automated system without proper backup or redundancy, failover mechanisms, what happens if that system fails?
Everything grinds to a halt, or you're left wide open.
Potentially, yes. You're
Yeah.
putting all your eggs in one automated basket, which can be incredibly risky if you haven't planned for its failure.
And there's also this idea of technical debt I've heard about. How does that apply here?
Oh yeah, tech debt is a big one in automation. Sometimes in the rush to get automation implemented quickly.
You take shortcuts?
Exactly. Teams might take shortcuts. Maybe they build brittle, hard-coded scripts or implement systems that aren't really sustainable or easy to maintain in the long run.
And that comes back to bite you later.
It does. That debt accrues interest, metaphorically speaking. It makes future changes much harder and more expensive, increases operational challenges down the line, and can even introduce new security risks you didn't foresee. It's that classic fix it quick now, pay way more later scenario.
And these systems aren't just set it and forget it, are they? They need looking after.
Not at all. Ongoing supportability is absolutely crucial. Automation solutions aren't static things. They need continuous support, regular maintenance, updates as your environment changes, as new threats
It
emerge.
helps to keep up.
Right, and they need to stay aligned with your organization's overall strategy to remain effective and secure over the long term. It's an ongoing commitment.
So ultimately, getting security automation right requires some really thoughtful consideration of all these angles.
Yeah, it's not just about automating everything you possibly can. It's about automating the right things in the right way.
With a plan for the long haul, making sure the automated processes are resilient and maintainable.
Exactly. It's about finding that smart balance, leveraging the incredible speed and efficiency wins, while actively mitigating the potential for introducing new complexities or risks.
It really is about finding that sweet spot.
Definitely.
So here's a thought for you, for everyone listening, to kind of chew on as we wrap up. If automation can handle so many of these routine security tasks faster, more accurately than humans, freeing up analysts from the mundane stuff, what becomes the truly indispensable, uniquely human role of the security expert going forward?
That's a great question.
What skills are going to matter most when the machines handle so much of the repetitive heavy lifting? Where do humans add the most value then?